Hi, my name is Carlos. I want to go ahead and introduce myself. I will be your trainer for this course, and I just want to go ahead and share a little bit of information about myself, about my background, why exactly I am in the transportation business, and what got me to where I am now. To pretty much being here, showing you guys how to establish a career as a freight dispatcher or any other careers in the transportation business. So as most of us humans here in the United States, we pretty much work to live our day-to-day lifestyles. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Some of us working weekends. Some of us pretty much working late night shifts and etc. So me myself, I have pretty much done it all. From the part times to the full times, to pretty much any type of job duties you can pretty much say is out there in the general labor. Pretty much what got me into this whole transportation industry was I started to think to myself, I'm going to build a better future for myself, for my family, and I just kind of got to the point where I was fed up with, working a 9 to 5 or, working on weekends or just working extremely hard hours and working extremely hard to not see an outcome from it. So I felt like I was putting, over 100% of effort into, every job I was working at, and I just felt like I wasn't being repaid with 100%, income. So I started, just figuring things out, trying to figure out what exactly I can, do for myself and for my family to provide, a way better income, a better lifestyle, pretty much be able to earn full-time money, maybe working part-time hours and having the freedom to spend, more quality family time with my family and friends, and even, more quality time for myself. So I went ahead and just kind of started looking at different business methods and checking to see what exactly could give me something that was long term. So I wasn't looking for anything anymore that was going to be, short term, seasonal, or, open season and then, there's a closed season. I was looking for something very well established, very well, sustained, and, something that can pretty much give me the security to put my time and effort and dedication into and see a result. So like I was saying before, a lot of us, give a lot of time, a lot of effort. We dedicate pretty much our whole lives, to building, a career that sometimes just isn't giving us exactly what we are worth. So we're giving, our 100% towards a company, towards a job, towards a career, and, sometimes, and most of the times, you just feel like you're doing so much but are getting so little for it. So the transportation industry is something that is very well established, and I feel like it won't go anywhere in the near future and whatnot. I feel like this is something that is very well needed, not just in the United States but worldwide, because transportation is pretty much the way everything is transported, as far as things that we consume, material stuff, things to build, our homes, our businesses, our vehicles. So everything is being transported by, trucks or anything that has to do in the transportation industry. If you think about it, you can pretty much go ahead and pick up, you can pick up a keyboard. And this, some way, somehow, was transported, to me or to the store where I purchased it. It didn't just magically appear, on a shelf, at any electronics store. It was transported there. So if you think about it, if you sit there and kind of just acknowledge transportation for 10 minutes, you'll kind of start to figure out that pretty much 80 to 90% of the things that we own is being transported. So what does that mean? The moment you start looking at things that in that point of view, you start to think, okay, so this is probably something that won't change anytime soon. This is something that is going to that's established, and that some things will change from time to time, but it's something that will keep on having a progress. So transportation is always going to be there, no matter in which way it's there. It will always be there, and I believe that general freight and things being transported in trucks is never going to really change, just because you can't you can't fit household materials as far as like bricks and building things into vehicles. Sometimes you need those those large 18-wheelers to pretty much haul these things. So I kind of went ahead and started brainstorming. I said, all right, so that's something that's interesting to me. That's something that I kind of see as a long-term career, not something short. It also went ahead that I kind of started doing my own research and started realizing that my parents actually have a transportation company. As far as they have trucks and they work in the transportation industry, and my family has always been in the transportation industry, and I kind of have always been around it and kind of always felt like it was something that could be a possibility for me in the future to kind of look into, but I just never really realized exactly what established this was, and how how it wasn't so difficult to start a business up as far as becoming a freight dispatcher. So I pretty much went ahead and just kind of started putting ideas to the side, and one bubble here, one bubble there, and kind of everything just kind of mixed in together and just kind of got into one big circle. And I pretty much just situated myself, and I said, this is what I want to move forward with. Since that day on, it has pretty much became a lifestyle. It has pretty much became something that has changed my life in a way that I believe not a lot of careers would be able to. One of the biggest things to me was pretty much being able to situate time for my family, and situate some more time for myself, while I'm still making a great income, and as an example, from the convenience of my home. So that's another big thing. I started to pretty much lose the commute of going to an office from 9 to 5, waking up at 6:30 a.m. to be at a office at 8 a.m. And I cut off rushing home from work from 6 p.m. to be here by 7:30 to try to get to dinner with my family. So those little things that we really don't realize as we're working to secure our income, when you go ahead and sit down and kind of think about things, and in that platform, you start to realize, wow, if I would have done this a couple of years ago, I would have saved a lot of time, a lot of money, and I would have had a lot more quality time with my family, for yourself as a human being, or just kind of you would have been a little bit ahead of where you are now. But I'm a true believer that it's never too late to realize that there's opportunities out there, and I believe the transportation industry is a huge opportunity to get into and to establish a business, or just look for a career into the transportation business. Whether you want to be a business individual and start your own business, or just pretty much become a someone with a professional career that can push into something very successful, then this is definitely something that you want to look into. This is something that should be a realistic option for anyone who is looking to look for, one, security, two, great income, a great potential of income. And three, quality time, having more time with your family, having more time with, for yourself. So pretty much, like I explained, I have, different experiences as far as the transportation industry. I have pretty much been situated in the, in a spot where I have pretty much have done mostly everything in the transportation business, but drive a truck. And from my experience, I can pretty much go ahead and explain how exactly, it really isn't too complicated to become successful in the transportation industry, just because it's something that's so established, and it's really not anything that you have to kind of, start from a scratch ground and no one knows anything about it. This is a well needed and well used industry in our country, and as I said, not just here but worldwide. And I've pretty much done everything from freight dispatching to freight brokerage to managing truck companies and helping other truck companies come up from bottom to build up to where they are now. And it has been something that I have truly have felt very well greeted by the transportation industry, and it has just been something incredible to me to be able to pretty much go from a situation where I felt like I was almost at hostage, working a 9 to 5, 9 to 6, from time to time working extremely late hours. And don't get me wrong, the transportation business, at the end of the day, is a career. Yes, there will be times where you have to, have crunch time. Yes, there will be times where you might have to put a little bit of extra work, because this is something new that you're establishing or that you're learning. But it is something definitely that once it's well established and well situated, it is something that can bring a very well, a very well like economical situation for you and your family if you strive and you put 150% of your dedication and effort to it. So as I was explaining, it was something that completely turned a page, a chapter in my life, from being, maybe not as happy as I am now, spending more quality time with my family and being able to do a lot more things for myself and for my family. And at the same time, as I'm, pretty much there for my family and with my family, I'm also able to have that, that security to be able to, be with my family and provide with my family. And those are things that are very important nowadays. If you have any kids, or if you have a significant other, because you don't always just, I'm a true believer that you don't want to just worry so much about building, your job trait and your position at work for your career, and forget about your quality time, your family time, and pretty much being able to run a career at the same time being able to still have a life outside of work. And I feel that this industry here, it's definitely one of those industries where you can sit there and pretty much manage everything, from your day-to-day job duties and from your day-to-day pretty much lifestyle, and still be able to enjoy what we call life, and still be able to enjoy great and build great memories. Because like I was saying, for the most part of our life, we're so stuck into, we have to, instead of building memories, we get stuck in the situation where we have to build a, economical empire to, survive and, not live the paycheck to paycheck life. And, we pretty much sit there, trying to situate what exactly we have going on, what we're planning for in the future. Why should we do this? Why should we do that? And I just feel like the transportation industry is definitely something that can provide a lot of people, with a very well situated, future. Whether you're, it's someone who is, extremely into being a business person, or someone who's has no idea about the transportation business. There's plenty of people who get into this not knowing what exactly they're getting into, and a year or two down the road, they're sitting there thinking themselves that they took an opportunity for themselves and their family to kind of change the chip, and then you realize, wow, I made a life-changing decision, and that is something that that I can pretty much explain to you, that I experienced that from pretty much from firsthand. I did do the jobs as most humans do around the world and here in the United States, to provide for their family and provide for themselves. And sometimes just having that different chip, and just switching something, and being able to be confident and brave, and just saying that change doesn't always have to be wrong. It could be something good. For the most part, everyone is afraid to change. Everyone is afraid to pretty much take an extra step from a certain ledge, because they feel like they're gonna fall and fall flat. And you don't know, if you go that extra step on the edge, what's on the other side of that step that you're gonna take. So you really you don't know whether it's gonna be a fall, or it's going to be something that's going to skyrocket, and it's going to benefit you and your family and everyone, all your loved ones around you. So that was just some information. I wanted to go ahead and introduce myself, as your trainer, as as one of your mentors during this training course that you will be encountering and taking on. And I just want to go ahead and give you guys a very warm welcoming, and just explain to you guys that if you put your time, effort and dedication into this course, and you believe in yourself, and you pretty much realize that change isn't bad and it's good, and you take everything step by step, and you really acknowledge all the information that that's in this course, and that we will be sharing with you, I believe that everyone in this course can make a very well established change to their life and lifestyle, and pretty much go on from after the course, build a career or build a business, and down the road say, I am extremely excited and proud and honored that we took this course with American Logistics Academy, and it was a life-changing experience. So once again, I want to go ahead and thank you for letting us, American Logistics Academy, providing you with this training, and with hopefully a life-changing experience for you and your family. A very well welcoming from us here, and I hope that you enjoy this course, and you'll see more of me throughout the course of this training. Thank you.